We have been told that if Congress does nothing, Social Security's trust fund will dry up by the year 2034, which could lead to, I'm so flustered by it, I can't even say the words. It could lead to cuts in our benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you do to take control of your retirement income is the question we propose to Mr. Mike Douglas, a.k.a. Michigan's retirement coach. Glad to have you with us. Also certified financial planner. Mike spends his minutes, hours, days, and weeks working to help you understand your options, because the good news is you do have options. That's something you've actually said before. No matter what the circumstances are, economically speaking, the market, et cetera, there's always opportunities. And so just unpacking and finding those opportunities for folks is what you're here to help us do. MichigansRetirementCoach.com is where you can start the conversation with Mike yourself if you would like to do so. But right now, let's talk about where we are with Social Security. Again, 2034 is the year. I think I'd heard some news. They're now saying 2035. Is that wrong?
It depends on who you're asking.
Who you're asking. Everybody's
Bill
going to
Gross, who used to manage the PIMCO funds, he came out and said 2032 at one point. So it's like it just depends. I mean,
sometime between 2032 and 2035 is the.
I know this a lot
estimate.
Sooner than it used to be.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's basically 2 elections away.
All right, so they're talking 25% cut in benefits. Many think that if President Trump fulfills his campaign promise and actually is able to get rid of taxes on Social Security, that the solvency problem will actually worsen and the cuts could come even sooner. So trying to find ways we can alleviate our worries. David Dooley is co-founder of the Social Security Risk Score, and he says there are some newer types of annuities.
There are products out there now that have a Social Security protection rider that basically will create an enhancement for your income should Social Security change the rules on you. Because I think everyone's sort of perking up and saying, wow, this is a real risk. If I'm going to plan retirement income, I have to consider the stability of Social Security.
Okay, a couple of things. First of all, maybe I should say, I'm leading with annuity conversation, and there are a lot of people in this world that just, you say the word annuity and they immediately shut down and turn off. And they're like, nope. I hate annuities. You're an annuity salesperson. You just want to hawk annuities at me. So we should clarify that Mike is, in fact, an independent financial advisor, certified financial planner. Yes, annuities are part of the business, as are many different aspects, equities. I'm not sure you're using bonds so much lately, but there's different annuities, and that's what we want to talk about. How you're helping folks plan now in case those security benefits are cut within 10 years, annuities or other things.
Yeah. So it's funny hearing that from David. I thought of when we did an episode a while back not too long ago, about Shaq.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how one of the greatest pieces of advice he was ever given by an older businessman who was hyper wealthy.
Yep.
He told him to just buy a handful of annuities that he could turn on at any time if something were to happen at certain ages or at certain life events. The issue here is that we have no real control over it, right? So if they cut
security issue,
Social Security, if they cut Social Security, I can't do anything about it.
Right.
You can't do anything about it. Right.
It's just happening.
We try to vote about it, but honestly, nobody deals with it. And so it's not going to be fixed. The only way to fix it is for them to take on a bunch of debt to try and deal with it. The fact is we're at a tipping point in terms of the amount of people qualifying and the amount of money going in, as well as the amount of unfunded liabilities the country has as a whole. We are way underwater as it relates to Medicare, Social Security promises versus the income coming in to cover those things. Real issue. So if we go back to kind of the Shaq principle, when he was saying that he bought he was advised by a rich person, a billionaire, to go through and buy a series of laddered annuities. That way, in the event he needed income, he could turn them on. That is the way we see quite a few of these options. Now, people are going to say, well, maybe I shouldn't have an annuity. Maybe not.
There are a lot of people that shouldn't.
They should not. But if one of the concerns is, we always talk about what if they cut Social Security? And they may cut you by 25%. One of the bigger issues is what happens if my spouse dies young and I'm left? Because right now, Kimberly and I, when we get retirement age, we're going to get these 2 Social Securities. Mine, which will be a larger one because I work full time and she stays home with our kids. So she will get a smaller one. I'll get a larger one. If one of us dies, hers goes away and we're left with one benefit rather than 2. So to have some element of an annuity or some income stream that you can kick on, it'll supplement there. Then you say, all right, well, that happened not when I planned it, right? So I'm going to turn this income stream on, and now it's going to help support me. I'm glad I threw
Because
money into it and let it sit and cook till I needed it.
to your point, the idea of a spouse dying, things that we're not in control of. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, what gives people so much more confidence in this space. We can't control what happens to Social Security. We can't control what the government does as far as tax bracket goes. We can't control when we die or how long we're going to live or if we get sick. What can we control? Which you can control.
Yeah. Take your money and make intentional decisions. So whether you're trying to build a dividend portfolio that can kick it out, an annuity that'll give it to you, there are some really good ones right now on the market. Again, we independently shop depending on stuff. And we go through and see if there's anything worth talking about. There are some that promise you a Social Security benefit that I think are garbage. They're not worth the money or the fees.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's some terrible ones.
But there are good ones are there ones that you've seen that offer the Social Security option thing that you do like?
Yeah. Now, nothing's free, right? Like if someone's going to give you this, it's not free. But if you have a choice between a 4% fee and a 1% fee to get the same benefit, to me, that's a no-brainer. Okay. I don't know why you'd ever choose a higher fee. Like this isn't an upgrade on your car. It's the same income. So understand that there's not a blanket yes or no. There's not just an automatic get an annuity, don't get an annuity.
Okay.
But you're seeing more and more the propaganda against annuities is being uncovered. You're seeing economists come out and speak to the power of annuities as it relates to long-term planning.
The propaganda against annuities being uncovered, meaning that whole stigma of annuities are bad, people are pushing that aside and saying, no, they're actually good.
They can be good, right?
Okay.
So again, because there's all these different types, and for a long time, an unregulated annuity industry was allowed to just go out like the Wild West and just take your money, throw it in an insurance company, and you can never see it again.
Okay.
That crap is basically gone, and it should be. And people have been kicked out of the industry or fined or lost their licenses for inappropriately selling you stuff that you didn't need or should have never had to begin with.
Okay.
But you're seeing the space of fiduciary come around to say, you know what? For someone who retires from some company and they don't give you a pension, it may make sense to buy yourself a pension. If you are a concern about this, or you say, you know what, I'm gonna take out of my portfolio, I got $1 million, $2 million, 150,000 here, 150,000 here. You take them and you buy them into an annuity with the idea of I'm going to turn this one on at 65, this one on at 70, this one at 75. I just built inflation protection. I built Social Security cut protection. I built survivorship protection, and just these layers. And so you're not taking the whole pie and throwing into annuities. You should never do that. Yeah. But what you should consider doing is planning for the worst and hoping for the best.
Right.
If these bad things happen, how do I still live my same standard of living and my same lifestyle? Sometimes that may be an annuity for the future. Sometimes it's a dividend or preferred stock portfolio. It can be all these different things. But I just think that the idea that annuities are good or annuities are bad is not true. Stocks aren't good or bad because there are stocks that will make you go bankrupt. There are stocks that will make you a ton of money. There are index funds that will make you a ton of money and some that will lose you a bunch. So,
well, and even as of late, the whole cash is king ideology with the inflation world that we've been living in, even cash can be a bad option.
Yeah, the hole in the backyard just cost you a lot of money. Yeah, and that's the problem. So I just think that when we get to these things of how do you deal with Social Security, I know we can't control it, but we can plan for it. I can't control the weather, right? But I can control how weatherproof my house is. I live in Michigan. I have to have 4-wheel drive, right? And like we were just talking earlier about the difference in Atlanta versus Michigan, the way we deal with snow. And I got stuck in the Atlanta airport a couple weeks ago. You know, when I was down there visiting.
I'm not in charge of the Atlanta airport.
No, but these are your people, right?
Know.
And I'm in the Atlanta airport. We get, I don't know, an inch of snow and a little bit of freezing rain. And they're like, shut the state down. I'm like, we take off Atlanta and Detroit all the time.
It's so true. I'm so sorry.
It's nothing, right? And again, I get it. It's like the busiest airport or whatever, one of the busiest airports in the world. I actually really like the Atlanta airport, but not when it's bad weather because they can't handle it, right? Detroit, we're like, that's just a Tuesday. Just keep on trucking. And so I just think that it's about different things for different people. So for the annuity space, for Social Security planning space, I just think you need to have an open mind.
Yeah.
And also good information and good education. Because some people right now, you may be watching this and someone gave you an annuity proposal and it just doesn't sit right. And you don't know why. And there's something wrong. If you are frustrated with that, you can reach out, shoot us a message, whatever else, and I'll review your proposal that you received and let you know, hey, here's why it's good.
Proposal, as in an opportunity to buy an annuity that they have not yet
Yeah.
purchased.
So typically whenever you buy an annuity, they have to give you an illustration of some sort to help you understand what it is that you're purchasing.
Yeah.
Right? Ideally, you should get that before you purchase. But if you've been given a proposal and you say, they tell me that this thing's going to give me the moon and it seems like it can't possibly do it, shoot us a message and I'll review it for you. I'll say, hey, listen, I'll tell you, there are some great products out there and there are some way overpriced garbage products out there.
Or one step further, if you do have an annuity that you've already purchased, there's actually a lot of opportunities to take a look at that annuity, and you might be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Can you,
you can replace.
You can replace your annuity essentially?
Yeah. We always say you want to escape, reduce, or replace, right? If there's a problem, can you escape it without surrender fees? Can you reduce the fees maybe to help you out? Or can you replace it with a better product?
Okay.
So if you're being proposed one and you're not sure, let us know. We'll help you out. If you have one and you say, I'm paying these fees, but I can't get out of it. I'm in an annuity. I'm stuck here for life. Mostly that's almost always not true as well.
Okay.
So there are better options, but just don't be sold something. Be educated, be informed, be prepared. And then if you want someone to give you just some advice on it, how to deal with it, shoot 100%. Us a message, subscribe, direct messages, whatever else, and we'll help you out.
Lots of ways to get in touch with Mike and his team. MichigansRetirementCoach.com is where you can go. We also have links posted in the show notes. If you're listening to our podcast, please know that we have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to and get lots more information there. Just search Michigan's Retirement Coach on YouTube. Or again, if you have questions about taking the power back, taking the control back of your retirement income, let's get to work helping you figure that out. Visit us at MichigansRetirementCoach.com.